Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's time to go through my 2024 reading and channel goals. I would start this video by going through my goals for last year, but I didn't set any, or at least I didn't film a video that I can react to. So we're going to start fresh for 2024. I don't know exactly how many goals I've got on my list, but I thought a good place to start would be my overall reading goal. So on Goodreads, I usually set my yearly reading goal to 100 books, not because I care about reading 100 books, but because I like it being a round number. I like being able to say after I've read 50 books that I'm halfway to my goal. So I'm going to set my reading goal to 100 books again. Do I actually care though if I reach it? Not really. The next goal on my list is I would like to try and read all of the books that I got through my Goldsborough subscription. So for anyone who doesn't know, I was subscribed to the Goldsborough Sci-Fi Fantasy Fellowship for around a year. I cancelled my subscription back in August time, and I still have, I think, 6 or 7 books that I got through that subscription that I still need to read. You might actually be able to see some of the books here. I don't know where all of them have gone because my partner recently rearranged our bookshelves and I don't know where anything is. But yeah, I would like to try and read all of those unread Goldsborough books before the end of 2024. I'd also really like to try and concentrate on series in 2024 because I didn't read that many books within series in 2023. I think I was looking at my stats recently and only around a quarter of the books that I read this year were books that were part of series. So I have a rough goal of I want to try and finish 10 series next year. Whether that's actually going to be possible is a whole other thing, but I think that's a good number to aim for. This year I finished 6 series, so I think it's also kind of achievable. I would also really like to try and find at least one 5-star thriller next year. If I find more than one, then that's a bonus. But I was recently putting together my best books of the year list, and it made me realise I have not had a 5-star thriller this year. I've had a few books that have come close and that have been like 4.5 stars, but none of them were what I'd consider new favourite thrillers. And it made me feel kind of sad because thrillers are like one of my favourite genres. So I think what I need to do is film a reading vlog where I just keep reading thrillers until I find one that's 5 stars. If you do have any recommendations for thrillers that were 5 stars for you this year, then please let me know in the comments because I feel like I know my taste in thrillers, but I keep picking up popular thrillers when I know, even though I might enjoy them, they're not going to be new favourites for me. I had this idea of doing like an audit where I go through all of the thrillers that I have given 5 stars and see if they have anything in common and use that to find thrillers to read. But yeah, I have a few ideas of vlogs that I might do next year. I am determined to find a 5-star thriller or 2 or 3. I don't care how many, I just want some new favourites next year. I'd also really like to read more historical fiction in 2024. I don't want to put a specific number to this goal, but I've read quite a lot of historical fiction recently, mostly when I did my Waterstones vlog, and I really enjoy historical fiction. I really like being transported when I read, and I feel like historical settings can do that just as well as fantasy settings can do that. So it makes sense that I should explore that genre more, and yeah, I would like to do that in 2024. I might actually do my Waterstones vlog again next year because that vlog, or doing that challenge, really helped me to discover some books that I never would have picked up otherwise. In terms of book buying, I want to make sure I'm making a more conscious effort to track how many books I'm reading from my own TBR versus books that I'm adding to my own TBR. I will be filming a video at some point in the next week or so where I show you my entire own TBR, but I know that it's currently over 100 and I want to try and reduce that so it's closer to 50. monthly, maybe. The problem isn't physical books, it's Kindle books. I cannot resist a 99p Kindle deal, but the problem is that every month I'm adding around 3 or 4 Kindle books to my TBR, but I'm not reading that many Kindle books. I am going to continue with my Kindle clear out project, and within my monthly wrap-ups I'm also going to introduce a segment where I track and look over how many books I've read from my TBR versus added to my TBR, kind of like Balancing the Books, if anyone used to watch that. It was created by Emma from Drinking by My Shelf, who doesn't make videos on her personal booktube anymore, but she still makes videos over on Book Break. But yeah, that's basically what I'm planning to do throughout next year, because I want to continue to hold myself accountable and make sure that I'm actually reading the books that I'm buying. Any books that I do buy next year, I want to make sure that I'm reading them within around 3 months, hopefully even sooner than that, but definitely before the end of the year. What I found is that the longer a book stays on my TBR, the less enthusiasm I have for it and the more my excitement kind of dwindles, and I end up feeling guilty because sometimes I'll read a book after it's been on my TBR for 2 or 3 years and I'll be able to recognise that I would have enjoyed that book if I'd read it at the time that I bought it, but my tastes have changed and I don't end up liking it as much. Don't want to be feeling any of that next year, so hopefully that's going to be achievable. Finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about my channel plans and my content plans for next year. Even though I don't think much is going to change compared to how it's been for most of this year, I still want to upload around once a week or 5 times a month. I feel like I've got into a good schedule at the moment where I upload or post a video every Sunday. That day usually works for me because it gives me the weekend, if I need to finish any admin bits that I need before the video goes live. My TBR game is going to be back for next year, and I'm going to continue with my monthly wrap-ups, although I'm going to tweak them slightly, as I kind of mentioned earlier. Reading vlog wise, I do plan on continuing doing themed reading vlogs because I really enjoy making those, but I'd also like to try and incorporate mood reading vlogs into my schedule. I would love to spontaneously go to the library and pick out a bunch of books that I'm in the mood to read that week, and then I bring them home and I read them for a reading vlog. I don't know how exciting that concept sounds, but as much as I love having a TBR game, I also enjoy being spontaneous, and what I've found this year is that books that I've picked up spontaneously have ended up working for me. I guess because I'm in the mood to read them in that moment rather than being really rigid with my TBR. But anyway, I feel like I'm starting to ramble, so I'm gonna wrap things up here. If there's any particular content that you've enjoyed from me this year, then please let me know in the comments, because I can obviously see in YouTube analytics which videos have done like the best in terms of views and engagement, but I'd really like to hear your thoughts as well. Let me know in the comments what your reading goals are for 2024, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me. But otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye!